Okay. The Walking Dead. Well, we're not the Walking Dead podcast. We're just a podcast watching movies and stuff and TV shows and whatever. But in this case, we're doing The Walking Dead season 2, week 2. Craziness. Pulling out the sheet from last time. It worked. Plot recap. So, babe, what happened? Oh, I'm Isaac.
Carly.
Okay, I was gonna leave you anonymous if you wanted to be, but this is my girlfriend. I'm her boyfriend. I've been told. Um,
Yes.
just for I want, I don't want people to think we're related. That's weird. All right. So, babe, what happened this season in The Walking Dead, AMC,
Um,
2016,
they leave
2011.
the CDC, going to Fort Benning.
Mhm.
Sophia gets lost.
Mhm.
Well, after a horde goes through the cars that they're searching.
Yeah, a weirdly small horde. They
Yeah.
didn't have good. It was like maybe 15 zombies.
Yeah, love it. Um, yeah. So then they're just sort of searching for. Um, Carl gets shot by Otis, and then
Who's Otis?
the I don't know. I guess he's one of Herschel's neighbors.
Yeah. Part of the Herschel camp, also known
Yeah.
as the farm camp, also known as where we're going to be spending the rest of the season camp.
Yeah.
They are pretty whatever. Anyways, so yeah, they get shot, and then Rick grabs him and gets Otis to point out where the farm is because they say I have a doctor.
Yep.
And then they meet
Shane,
everybody.
Does Shane go with them?
Shane goes with them, yeah.
And then, but because Maggie goes back to tell
Yeah, on a horse.
everybody what happened.
So now they are at a farm, and the farm's doing good.
Yeah.
Farm looks very nice. No, not a lot of walkers around. Carl not doing good. He got shot.
Yeah.
Doing very poorly, in fact.
Yeah.
Sophia, Carol's daughter, still missing.
Mm.
Very dangerous. They'd spend the whole season looking for her. Well, half the season, right?
Yeah.
So then, in order to save Carl, they need to go to the
It's
high
like
school?
a high school, yeah.
Yeah. That's infested to get their first aid
Mm.
and CPR equipment, I think, or something.
Yeah. I think it's like a breathing something.
Yeah.
That he needs.
Okay, so they do that,
Mm.
and
They
then
go there.
they go there. Yeah.
Shane and Otis.
Shane and Otis,
Mhm.
bad combo, bad man pajamas.
Yeah, hate it.
Hate it. There's some. Rick donates blood to Carl
Mm-hmm.
to get him to feel alive and help him live. Lori gets mad at Rick for being like, I should be the one to go, and she's like, you need to stay here for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what? And then yeah. Oh, and then Lori's like, what if he dies? What if that's best? I just kept thinking about. I forgot about Jackie. She don't gotta live with this no more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did forget about that.
And then Shane shaves his head.
Yeah, but that's after Otis dies.
True.
Shane kills Otis
Yeah.
to save himself.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that though, right?
Well, nobody knows that but Shane.
Well, I'm saying there's like a flashback sequence where he just showed, or did we
Oh.
see it?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
I
how
don't
it
remember.
happens.
I just remember him shaving his head, and he looks. I don't think he looks very good with a shaved head, honestly, for real though. Okay. Everybody's so sad that Otis died in the Herschel camp.
Yeah.
Oh, we should probably go over the people in the Herschel camp. We got Herschel.
Yes.
He is a veterinarian, landowner, Christian man.
Yeah.
Leader of his little group.
That's basically his family.
Yeah. We got Maggie,
Yes.
daughter.
Yeah.
We have Beth,
Second daughter.
second daughter. There's weird. That's a
There's
weird age gap.
Also, there's a son, but I don't.
Sean?
Yeah, but he's already dead.
Yeah.
It's his stepson. Jimmy, which is
Jimmy,
Beth's
Beth's
boyfriend.
boyfriend, who's been shacking up with them.
Yeah. And then Patricia, which is Otis's wife.
Yeah. I think so.
That's it.
They're pretty whatever.
Yeah.
We learn more about them as the series goes on, but just to get some names out there. Oh yeah. Andrea learned was super suicidal in the beginning. And then Dale's like, "You can't have a gun. You were just about to fucking die in the CDC," and she's still really mad at him for that.
Yeah.
Then he does end up giving her a gun, I think.
I don't know.
I think Shane just gives I think she just gets a gun eventually.
Yeah. Andrea always has a gun.
Yeah, good for her. Good for her. I was like,
Yeah, I don't know. It's mostly focused on Daryl trying to find
Sophia, yeah. The thing throughout. I mean, that's the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Glenn and Maggie get set up.
Yeah.
They are friends to Levars very
Mm-hmm.
quickly, but I guess, like, in the time scale of the apocalypse, that's just what happens.
Yeah.
They go from being like, literally, she's like, "You're kind of cute," and then I think they fuck same episode.
Yeah.
Uh,
True to the comics.
Yeah, is that?
Yeah.
Oh,
They literally like meet and then they're like,
I was gonna have our own comic section.
yeah. I'm just saying.
Throw in there. So fair.
But not good.
Yeah, so Daryl's been looking for her, and then Lori's pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and so Maggie and Glenn go on a run to town,
Yeah.
and Glenn was also like just looking for general stuff, but also looking for abortion pills, as Maggie calls them.
Yeah. This is on the second run. The first run, they went and she got a pregnancy test, I believe.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah, this season is also a fair bit of nothing happening.
Yeah.
Not like nothing happening. I feel like there's a fair bit of stuff happening. It's just not super. I don't know. It matters, but not really. Okay, yeah. Also, there's a huge dynamic that's been going on. That is, Shane being like, "Sophia's dead for sure.
Yeah.
It's been 48 hours. You know what that means."
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, true, but also it's a different world now. Like, she's a lot less likely to die from, like, random people and a lot more likely to die from a walker or something.
Yeah.
But also, like, the way he's using it, like, you have 48 hours. It's like, yeah, for, like, a kidnap victim.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if a child gets lost, I don't think people give up the search. Like, in Stranger Things with Will Byers, they were like, 48 hours, nope, cut it off. Done. Never talk about him again. He died.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Daryl does the weird thing where he gets the necklace of ears after falling down like 4 times.
Yeah.
Getting hallucinating the fuck out of everything.
Yeah.
And then what?
Andrea
Shoots
grazes
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is funny because she's been like, "I'm contributing. I'm doing my part. Don't worry, I'll shoot that walker,
Yeah.
easy." And then it's Daryl, because he just looks musty and he was bleeding.
Yeah.
And she fucking just shoots him, and it's just like, Andrea, you are really not serving your case here.
It's also she does it while they're checking it out.
Yeah,
Like just let them.
They're
look
standing
for a second.
there next to him, and he's clearly like talking, or like there's an interaction of some sort. Why would they
Not
not?
attacking them at all.
Yeah, they're like 5 feet from him. Why would they not just shoot him or like stab him or something?
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing that's so fucking annoying. This season is people do not give any gaffes about just shooting at any inconvenience. Oh, is this where they learn about the barn? It's
Well,
soon.
they learn because.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, Glenn.
Because Glenn goes to the barn because he says that that's where they should meet him and Maggie.
Yeah, in order to get it out.
Yeah, and she tries to go tell him beforehand, but he goes in there already.
Yeah, and then it's just a bunch of walkers. It's just a walker barn, where we learn that Herschel is a little delusional.
Yeah.
and he thinks that walkers are just
Sick people.
sick people. Yeah, he says that uh, a paranoid schizophrenic is dangerous. Do you think? And that's when we learn one of the major themes for the rest of the show too, which is like people who are super inundated from the harshness of reality. Like we just something that we just keep running into is groups of people who kind of got lucky and don't realize how bad life is outside of their like walls. Usually literally walls, but also sometimes metaphorically walls.
Yeah.
Uh, okay. Uh, yeah. So Glenn, what? Glenn tells Dale about it,
Yeah.
and then he eventually tells everybody.
Yeah.
Even and Maggie's like, "Why would you do that?" And he's like, "Oh, yeah, we skipped it. We skipped the scene of him getting lowered down into the well,
Yeah.
to get a bloated zombie out,
Yeah.
and he almost fucking died.
Hmm.
It was crazy."
This season they add a lot of
Glenn.
fluff,
Yeah.
just unnecessary stuff that I don't feel like needed to happen because they stretch out the farm in an entire season.
And it's like what, like half a chapter in the comics?
Yeah. Maybe.
Well, yeah, it does make sense, but it also doesn't make sense too because there's like no defensive. There's like a fence.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why so many places got overrun, but not the like. Why is the high school so much more overrun than the farm is?
I mean, I'm just assuming that the high school's in the city.
I think it's more in the city,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's like in the
Versus
city.
farther out.
Yeah. I guess that's fair.
But the whole season they don't show walkers at all.
Yeah, I think
At all,
their
until
makeup
the
budget was
finale.
not there. Well, they showed them intermittently.
Yeah, like one at a time, randomly. Maybe like 3.
Yeah. And then they're still a threat, and then, oh my god. Okay, wait. Oh, we're about to get to it. The Lori character assassination that made everyone hate Lori.
Yeah, because she crashes her car into one walker on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so this is when Lori and, Glenn goes with Maggie back to the pharmacy with Maggie to get the abortion pills.
Yeah.
Here are your abortion pills.
Yeah.
And then she tells Rick that she had an affair with Shane.
Mm-hmm.
But I also don't really count that. Like, okay, I'm going to say my stance on it. She thought he was dead.
Yeah.
And it's the apocalypse. Yet again, I've told you this several times, but if you think I'm dead, just give me like one good week. Just mourn me for 1 week, and then, you're it's kind of whatever. I'm dead. Like, what am I going to do?
Yeah.
Feel bad? No, I'm dead. I think you were like, I don't want to give you a time, just whenever you feel right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and Rick's like pretty like whatever, right? Because he already knew.
Yeah.
So he claims.
Yeah. He said that he figured it out forever ago.
Yeah. Which I think, honestly, we'll talk about more when we get there in like a little bit. But that's like a huge boon for him. Like, I was like, because Rick, I think, really just looks discombobulated, like doesn't know what the fuck's going on for most of the show. But I feel like from this point onward, he's always in the know.
Yeah.
And like he actually is like, I understand human dynamics, I understand what's going on, how it's happening. Versus in the beginning where he just looks like an idiot. Fucking, I need some gas.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then that happened. Yeah, he just moves on. Yeah, Glenn reveals the barn, and then Shane freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's like, we gotta kill them. Gotta kill them walkers.
Wait. We need to mention the funny moment where, while this is happening, when they find out about the barn, Rick and Jimmy
Yeah, and Herschel.
and Herschel are leading two
Oh.
walkers into the barn. And Shane sees them and he's like, what is that?
Yeah.
And he starts
What
running
is
towards
that?
them. It's so funny.
He's-
That's the hardest I laughed the entire season.
He's full sprinting. He's running at like absolute like it's
insane.
the funny clip that you've probably seen on Vine where it's just he's
Yeah.
running so hard. And everyone starts running after him too.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah, they become their own little horde. Like you got to fight the swarm with the swarm.
But yeah, and then they
I'm gonna move here.
kill all of the walkers in the barn.
Yeah, and Herschel's devastated.
Oh, and Shane has his little spiel where he tries to convince Herschel that the walkers aren't
Hey, he
living.
succeeds.
He does.
He
does that.
he goes and he shoots. He goes bang 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 bang.
Yeah.
I just pumped 4
Why is
bullets
she
in
still
there.
coming?
Yeah.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah. And then, oh my god, and it is such an unintentionally hilarious moment. Rick's like, who's he? Is he yelling at Herschel? Who's he yelling at? He's like, take this, I'll stop him.
Yeah.
And then what? Shane just shoots in the head, and he's like, all right, well.
Yeah. Yeah. He was like, take it. He's not gonna take it.
Yeah.
He's literally crying on his knees on the ground.
Yeah, little old man, little crying old man. Also, yet again, this moment, a little, like, kind of funny, super dramatic.
Yeah, you can tell that they were waiting all season for this.
Yeah, the last 6 episodes were, like, basically just fluff to do this.
Yeah. They
And,
were waiting. They were excited.
yeah, and to wrap up
They saved all the budget.
Sophia dies here. Sophia
Yeah.
was in the barn this whole time, and so they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh, there's also been, like, underlying drama between Rick and Herschel, because Herschel's like, get the fuck out of my home. And and Rick's like, we really need to be here. It is bad.
Yeah.
And then Herschel's like, I don't care.
And then he's like, Lori's pregnant.
And he's like, that's on
like,
you,
that's
bro.
gonna help him at all.
He was like, you should have used a condom.
Yeah.
I mean, no, but Herschel would care, I think. I think he would go like, oh, I won't send a pregnant woman into danger. Okay, so then, yeah, what are we saying? Has Dale tried to hide the guns yet?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, no, this is where he's about to, because it's after.
Oh
Shane,
yeah,
like,
this
loses
is like
fucking
semi
mind.
before.
Yeah. Well, because Dale tries to hide the bag of guns from Shane because he's like, Shane killed Otis. Shane aimed down the sights at Rick.
Yeah.
He's a dangerous man. Yeah. They shoot so many bullets and it doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
They literally I swear they should be nearly out of ammo with how many bullets they just spend purely on the walkers in here. They're just shooting. It's for 5 uncut minutes. They're just shooting. Yet again, and I was annoyed because it's like you could have just pulled them out one by one and just stabbed them.
Yeah.
No noise, no wasted ammo, nothing. Just easy. But no. We have to whatchamacallit? Waste all of our stuff. Oh, talk about guns really quick. We skipped the part about how Andrea learned to be a crack shot.
Yeah, that was like last season.
Yeah. No, that was this
Oh
season.
no, yeah.
But
She
it
was
also
training.
doesn't matter. It's
Yeah.
never like, quick, hand Andrea the gun, or she's the best shot. It's always just like, I feel somewhat useful. Do her and Shane go into town?
I don't know. I think we're already way past that. Because after all the stuff with the barn, that's when Herschel goes to the bar.
Yeah. Well, then we'll throw it in here.
And then Rick goes, and then Lori tries to go after him, and then she crashes her car.
Yeah, and it's so funny because there's seriously just one zombie on the road. There's just the one. And she just hits it and then flips her car.
Yeah.
They don't feel related.
But then she goes off and she kills 2 walkers.
True. Yeah, and she throws that in Andrew's face.
Yeah, she does.
But anyways, okay, yeah, so Herschel was an alcoholic, hadn't drank since Maggie was born.
22 years.
22 years sober. Which is crazy. It's like, bro, it's the apocalypse. I think it's okay to have a drink.
Yeah.
Goes to the bar in town, which was his old drinking spot. Okay, real question though. Do you think they just threw this in because they realized that they were going to have to give Herschel more characterization because he was going to replace Dale? Because I feel like it was never even kind of mentioned before this point. Or am I just dumb? His alcoholism. Like, they were like, we
I
gotta give him
don't
some...
know.
Because he brings it up so many times after this, where he's like, I can be forgiving. I was an alcoholic. It's like, bro, you never even said nothing before this. Why are you being nice now, after everyone knows this?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Anyways, they go into town. Uh, Rick has a very interesting conversation with Herschel, where he's just like, you gotta do it, man. You gotta keep living. He's like, what's the point? You saw them. They weren't really alive. I just lost everybody. And
Yeah.
Rick's like, you gotta keep going. For the ones who are living. And then two, ruffians, shall we call them? Rapscallions. Two random dudes
Yeah,
come
Dave
in.
and Tony.
And come into the bar because they heard him talking.
Yeah.
Or also because they just wanted to go to the bar. Their friends say that later. They're like, of course Dave and Tony are in the fucking bar, obviously.
Yeah.
And they have this, I think, very awesome conversation where they're both trying to, like, feel each other out and try to, like, okay, are you going to, like, draw? Are you going to be the first one to do it? If you are, I got to do it first.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a very, like, tense conversation of, like, where's your group? Where are you located? And, like, kind of these probing questions. Also, the actor who's what? Tony? No.
I don't know which one.
What? I think it's... I think it's Dave.
I think it's Tony.
Okay, well, hard to say then. Whoever it is, it's Balefire / Neil from Once Upon a Time. Great little crossover there. Anyways, I really liked the scene. It was very intense, where you're just like, are these guys cool? What's going on? Is this gonna be okay? And they kept, like, pushing, where you're like, oh shit, these guys are a threat. They're gonna try to figure it out. Like,
Yeah.
they're gonna invade the farm. It's also funny too, because Rick, like, was forced to take the opposite moral position that he had just been in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, where previously he's like, you gotta let us on the farm. The world's bad out there. And then this guy comes in and says, hey, can we come on your farm? The world's bad. And Rick's like, no. And then he's like, we got manpower. We can help you. And then that's another thing Rick said. And then Rick's like, no. And I just think it's interesting because it does also show the difference between Rick and Herschel and Dale and Shane even. Where, like, Rick has just enough angel, just enough devil in him to make, like, decisions like that. Where he's like, look, like, because I think Dale would have let him.
Yeah.
I think Herschel would have let him. Because he let Rick bully him, basically, into accepting. I think Shane would have killed him on the spot.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that mix that Rick has, where he's like, I want to do things peacefully, but I am, in fact, willing to get my hands dirty, is why he's a very interesting character.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, so anyways, they're going. Donnie, I'm going to just say that for the group. Dave and Tony. One of them jumps over the bar, puts his gun down. He's like, all right, let's not get crazy here. And then, I think he is Dave, because I think it's like Tony's pissing in the corner.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, probably.
It's fine. And then he's like, I think Rick just tells him to, like, calm down. And then Tony's like, you guys got any ass? I haven't had a nice piece of ass in
I think
weeks.
any of this is necessary.
It's because I like the scene that it's necessary.
Okay.
Alright. Anyways, he shoots them. They shoot both of them. And then their friends are outside.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're now holed up in the bar, making them take longer, which then Lori goes and drives and crashes and then pops off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then Tony's group leaves behind Randall,
Mm-hmm.
who has his knee impaled on a freaking fence.
Mm-hmm.
And then they try to get him out, but there's too many walkers, and then Rick just yoinks his freaking leg out.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know how he can walk after that. It's
I
insane.
don't. Okay, like, actual facts though, they were like, nah, it's fine. You don't need muscle. You don't need, like, tissue and ligaments and bones.
Yeah, and it's right after Herschel just said that.
Yeah, he said we might have to amputate it,
Like,
and then
you
Rick just
could've-
goes,
you could have just not said that, and I would have maybe believed you. But
yeah, maybe it was, like, to the side or something.
Yeah.
But Herschel was waiting to literally chop it off because he thought it was going to be a better solution.
yeah,
And then we get into an interesting moral tale with Randall that doesn't actually go anywhere and
Yeah.
kind of sucks, in my opinion.
yeah.
Okay. So Oh yeah, Shane professes to Lori. He says, "You and me, I love you, and you love me too. You just Rick's in the way."
Mm.
And then she's like, "No, you don't. Stop using me as an excuse or whatever."
Yeah.
Um. Oh yeah, and then Lori like tells Rick, and she's like, "Hey, Shane's fucking crazy. He killed
Yeah.
Otis. He thinks I'm his property.
Yeah.
He thinks Carl's his son. Like he
Yeah.
wants to replace you, bro."
Do something about
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
um.
And then they do something about it.
True.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Except he does go back and save him.
Well, because what the thing they're gonna do with Randall is that they're going to,
Leave him.
yeah, they're gonna drive out, just leave him on some random area after
Mhm.
blindfolding him, putting his headphones on,
Yeah.
so he doesn't know where he is and he can't find his group to come and steal their farm.
Um. But yeah, but then they go back on that because they realize that he might know the town.
Well, no, he says I would never do anything to hurt Beth.
Maggie. He went to
Maggie.
school
Oh,
with
you were
Maggie.
right. Yeah.
Um.
And then they're like, "Fuck!" And then Shane like actually just tries to kill Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah, this show portrays
Yeah, he throws a wrench at him.
smashes some glass. It doesn't look great.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And then he looks at himself in the mirror and he's like,
Yeah, in the glass.
yeah. And he's like, I look like a walker. Oh no.
Yeah. We missed the subplot of Beth being suicidal.
Oh yeah.
That also happened. I don't feel like that's very necessary.
It doesn't really matter, except for the fact that Andrea and Lori get into a fight about it.
Yeah.
Because Andrea's like, give her a loaded gun and let her
Just
make
let her
the
do it.
decision. Yeah. Look, if she does it, she
But
made her
Lori's
decision.
like, she's a child.
Yeah.
And shouldn't be allowed to make those decisions.
Also, yet again, more to the point though, like there's like a lot of research and evidence where it's like the reason most people, a lot of dudes kill themselves with guns is because it's like a split second.
Yeah.
Like you just have to be motivated for 1 second.
Yeah.
Whereas all other methods, you got to be motivated for at least an amount of time.
Yeah.
like slitting your wrist or something, like you have to be motivated. For sure. Yeah, but she gives her what she says, and this is where I started hating Andrea again. Where she's like, I'll watch her, Maggie. Don't worry about it. You look exhausted."
Yeah.
And then she just leaves her alone.
Yeah.
And then she smashes the glass, and then she tries to commit unalive herself. And then she feels really bad about it, and she's like, "No, I shouldn't have." And then Maggie's really mad because it's like, what if it had gone wrong? What if she had slit her throat? Like, what if she had done something that she couldn't recover from? And Andrew's like, well, I didn't really care.
Yeah.
It worked for me, and also, even though I hated Dale, and I still hold Dale responsible and I'm mean to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then so they have to. Shane and Rick are kind of cool now, though.
Yeah.
Rick really kind of showed him the law and said, "Hey, this is my stuff. If you fuck with me, I will kill you." Like, it's not okay. And then we get the hard, long morality debate of what do we do with Randall?
Yeah. Where Rick and Shane are like, we need to kill him.
Yeah.
And Daryl's like, no.
No. Oh, are you saying Dale?
Dale.
Yeah.
Not Daryl.
I was like, Daryl's like whatever.
Daryl is like whatever. Daryl is torturing this child.
Yeah, he's.
Well, he's not a child. He's probably like 20 something, but still.
Dale calls him a child a lot. He says young man a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I guess he could be like 19 and still have gone to school with Maggie.
Yeah, I think he probably
But
was around her age though.
yeah.
I found the moral arguments not to be very convincing. Where Dale's like, "Well, we're gonna let society die here with us," and it's like, bro, society already died.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that necessarily you should execute him in a very cold manner like this. And I feel bad that I'd like to believe I'm a pretty decent person. But I feel like the way they present the arguments and how annoying Dale is, and how he just doesn't compromise in any way, doesn't provide any better solution or strategy, does absolutely nothing to try to like explain his point, and then gets mad that no one agrees with him. Where I'm just like, just present an argument. That's good. I
Yeah.
want to do better things too. I don't want this guy to die. But you just said like, well, we'll just have to believe in the human spirit. It's like he has 30 dudes who
Yeah.
were assaulting people. Like he said that, and he was like, I didn't do none of that.
Yeah, and then while all of these adults are not watching Carl, he goes in the swamps to go try and kill a walker, and then he gets scared.
And then the walker gets free.
Yeah.
Carl also talks to Randall,
Basically set up for Dale to
Yeah.
die.
which happens.
Yeah.
And it's so whatever.
Insane.
He is mad because actually
Nobody's agreeing with him.
Andrea agreed with him.
Yeah, I'm sure she did.
Yeah, yet again, so wishy-washy. She's like so in one camp, so in the other camp. She makes no like decisions.
Yeah.
She would have shot him herself 3 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, Dale dies.
Yeah. First of all, after this walker apparently took down a cow, that just doesn't.
Slid in half. Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I mean, later on, like 4 walkers take out a tiger. So maybe.
There's like 6.
Okay, but do you think?
There's like quite a few there.
I feel like a tiger
cow
is
is
6 times
huge.
stronger than a cow.
How did this thing tip over this cow?
You've never been cow tipping?
No, I haven't.
Ah, yeah. Not from the true south.
There are cows in Florida. There are cows.
You
Okay.
should have tipped them.
No.
You're like, why would I do that?
But yeah. And then Dale gets his stomach ripped open.
Yeah, he
And
gets
then-
ripped in half, and then Rick's like,
Rick can't do it.
Herschel!
So Daryl doesn't.
Yeah, and Dale's like, thank you. I'm in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And he gets shot. And then, did you want to say like why this happened? Because this is not like the comic.
Yeah. Yeah. Dale just kind of dies because the actor didn't want to be on the show anymore. With what the co-showrunner or something? Fred
Yeah,
Carbon?
like
I don't know.
the
But-
person from season 1 who put a lot of effort into adapting it.
Yeah. So.
And so they just killed his character off.
Mm.
Yeah.
Um.
And then we have like a time jump of at least a little bit
For what?
from Dale's death. They like skip ahead because they've been talking about like it's been weeks since Dale died.
Oh. I
Yeah.
must have missed that. I guess, yeah.
Well, it's part of the reason like relations are a lot better and people are a lot like less wackadoo.
So they've just had Randall for a week?
They've had Randall for weeks. Yeah, that's what they've said. Like,
Ugh. Guys, figure it out.
I know. Well, because the thing is, they're like they have to honor Dale by not killing him now, but they
Yeah.
also don't trust him to like be about, which I think is fair. He's kind of not cool. Also, okay, I do wish they would have given slight confirmation one way or the other if Randall would have led the group back to the farm with Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't, which I guess is fair. Oh, okay, the worst moment in the whole show. Wait, really quick. Carl feels super guilty about Dale's death
Yeah.
because he's like I freed that walker and then I didn't even shoot it, so that's how it followed me here.
Yeah.
And it's like I don't know, it's like at least half on Dale for not paying attention.
Yeah.
Also, it ripped him in half. That walker was on the X Games. It ripped the cow in half. It ripped him in half.
Yeah, that was a crazy walker.
Yeah, that's the king. of walkers.
We're getting into the finale, which is where a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff's happening.
Yeah.
Finally.
That's why I was saying my least favorite scene.
What?
The proof that Lori's the worst.
Oh, where she thanks Shane
Yeah.
for getting her out.
Yeah, well, I think it's just like the issue too where I think it's not even like her fault. It's just mostly a failure of writing where she has been so hating on Shane. She has been like, Shane's a menace. You need to maybe like kill Shane. Like that's the level of like hate she's been putting on this man. Which is
Yeah.
fair. I hate him too. I was on that train. I'm still on that train.
Honestly, what if this was like a ploy to like get him to go insane and think that he actually has a chance with her, and then all of this formulates.
Oh, you're that's way worse.
She said I got in his head, and then Rick kills him.
That is way worse in my opinion. Actually, that's like
I
way
know
meaner.
that would be crazy.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like it's so like random.
Yeah. It is random. Yeah, because she just like out of nowhere. It's been all this time. He's like, I never thanked you for saving me and Carl and being a shoulder to cry on and really stepping up. And it's like, I believe you have in fact actually.
Yeah, girl, you
thanked.
slept with him. Like, hello. You didn't even want to.
Well, I think she did in the show.
Yeah, maybe in the show.
Like, but also he took your goodwill. He tried to kill Rick. He was being super weird and possessive. He like tried to assault you in the CDC.
Yeah.
They just forget that. And then so this breaks Shane's brain.
Yeah.
And that's where okay, so I'm of the opinion that Lori was getting way too much hate before I watched this season. And now I get it a little bit. She definitely broke his brain right there. And so he's like, oh my god, I got a chance. This is it. That was her telling her she loves me. Like, she gets it. I saved her life, and now she's mine forever, because I'm a misogynist. But he was, like, so normal before that. He was contributing to the group. He was going on runs. He was being, like, a good friend, it seemed like. And this just broke his brain, and he's like, okay, how do I come up with a plan to kill Rick?
Yeah.
And do you want to go over the plan he came up with?
I don't even know what the plan is.
Free Randall. Step
Oh.
1.
Yeah.
Step 2. Kill Randall. Step 3. Break your own nose into a tree to make it look like Randall escaped, got out. Step 4. Try to get a tracking party.
Step 5. Forget that Daryl can track.
Yeah. Step 6. Get Rick to join you and believe that you can kill him and he won't realize what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Step 7. Die.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry. Step 7. In his mind, we'll say the hypothetical plan. Kill Rick and then tell him that Randall did it, and then Lori will love you forever and won't be suspicious in any way that she was nice to you one time and then Rick died.
Yeah.
Step 8. Profits.
Profits.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy family.
Yeah. Also, okay,
Nothing goes wrong ever.
Yeah. Also, Carl and Rick and Shane have such a weird relationship.
Yeah, they do.
Like, it feels like Carl does
Carl's
not
like, don't tell
his
my
dad.
parents.
All the time. He says that all
the time. And it's like, this is weird.
Yeah, it's like, why do you have a relationship with an adult in which you want to say, don't tell my parents?
Yeah.
Like, bro, just don't tell anybody. Like, you don't have, like, confide in a fellow kid. That's fair. Stop confiding in Shane.
He
That's
doesn't have
just...
any other kids. Sophia died.
Beth. Child.
I don't think he needs to be around Beth.
Yeah. So then Rick or Daryl and Glenn, right?
Yes, they are tracking, and they find Randall.
Who had his neck snapped.
Mm-hmm. They kill Randall, but Randall has no bites.
And Daryl's like, this is weird. He has no bites, and I can see that his neck was snapped.
Yeah. And I can also see that him and Shane seem to have been
Scuffling.
in cahoots.
Oh yeah, they walked together.
And then had a scuffle.
Yeah, and we also see the tree in which Shane sprinted to break his nose.
Yeah.
Because he's insane. Just do that.
And an idiot.
Yeah. True. Anyways, Rick the whole time, everyone's just poking holes in this story. It's very obvious that Shane is not smart.
No.
Like, he's charismatic, but he is not, like, good at forming a plan in this instance. Like, Daryl's like, how'd he get out? And then it's like, the door was shut when T-Dog found it. Oh, T-Dog's done nothing this season.
And
we didn't even mention him.
The door was closed, locked from the outside.
Yeah.
Had to have been somebody let him out.
Yeah. Daryl can track. He sees that they were walking together.
Mm.
And he's like, they must have been damn near on top of each other. Uh, Daryl's like, or is it Daryl or Rick's like, how the hell did he get the jump on you? That kid's 120 pounds soaking wet, and you're what, like 230?
Mm-hmm. I don't remember who says it either. I think it was probably Rick.
Yeah. And it's just like continuously, like, obviously there's issues. Obviously,
Yeah, how did he get the jump on you and you got knocked out?
Yeah. Like, how did this? And
like,
then, I mean, Rick spells it out. He's like, I knew the whole time.
Yeah.
I've known this whole time that you were doing this. And then he pulls a gun on him, and he's like, L'Oreal, Carl, get over you. They had to do it once already, and it was fine. Life was good.
Yeah.
Which, yet again, it's like, why? Maybe they're just trying to make complex characters. But I feel like they're trying to make complex characters by making them contradict themselves all the time. Like, Shane was fine. He was normal. It seemed like he had moved on, and he's like, look, I'm just going to be a good friend. I will just be like a cool uncle. Like, that's going to be my role. I'll provide support. And then, like, he's like, no, I'm the old Shane again. Anyway, so they have their little duel in which Rick's like, obviously I knew you were coming out here to shoot me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, he has his gun, and he's like, watch this. Come on. He throws it.
Yeah.
And then he goes off.
Yeah.
And he just stabs him real
Yeah.
quick. He's like, you made me do this. And to be fair, he did. Rick literally had no other options.
Yeah.
Also, I'm realizing now, the reason I think they didn't have him shoot him is because he would have just shot him in the head. And then we
True.
wouldn't have gotten the reveal.
Yeah.
So that's a writing reason. And then Carl's there.
Mhm.
And
Rick thinks he's gonna shoot him.
okay, here's the thing though. Carl does draw his gown.
His gun.
Yeah.
Before Shane stood up.
Yeah.
But I like to believe that he had started stirring.
Okay.
And Carl noticed.
I personally think that that's some Carl apologia. I think that Carl
Was gonna kill Rick?
No, I think Carl was just like, why the fuck did you just stab Shane? Like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah.
he's a kid, and he's like, I need to feel safe, and I feel safe because
he
of a gun.
asks, he said, did Shane get bit? Because, I mean, obviously, they don't know.
Yeah, well, Rick does.
Well, Rick didn't understand until then.
Yeah. Well,
Because,
he says he did, though. He says it just didn't matter in the next
No.
episode.
I guess.
Yet
I
again,
don't
I'm not going to say that we're better writers, but I think the way we say it makes more sense. Where it's like, yeah, it is stupid to not tell everyone.
Yeah.
You know how many people would just not want to have committed suicide? Because they would be like, oh shit, I'm going to turn into a walker?
Yeah.
And then, yeah, and okay, and then that gunshot where Carl shoots Shane.
Yeah, this one gunshot.
Yeah. And then, out in the field, draws a bunch of walkers.
Hella.
Hella
will.
walkers, yeah. And then, the walkers follow them back, and then they lure them into the barn. They set the barn on fire.
Yeah.
They come out with their cars and they just shoot. They're just shooting for five.
Yeah.
They're shooting for 5 minutes.
This is just not a good plan.
They got their GoPros on the
They were
side.
trying.
They're
This
just
was like, we
going
gotta
in
save the
circles.
farm. I don't know why we had to save the farm.
Also, it's crazy because it wasn't hard.
Yeah.
Like, go away and then come back to the farm. Like,
Everybody get in a car. Let's leave.
yeah, they're just moving through. It's not like they're like stealing it. It's not like they care. Like, maybe you don't feel safe there anymore. You shouldn't have set the barn on fire. The zombies are only dangerous if they're right, like, if they smell you or if they care in some way. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter.
It's for the action. It's for the sequence.
True. Anyways, and it worked on me. When I was a kid, I thought this shit was badass.
Yeah, loved it. It was great.
Yeah. Also, winter is coming.
Yeah.
And they were signing rooms and stuff. And T-Dog was like, I'll take the room if you don't want it, Lori. And then Hirsch was like, you are not getting that room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, and oh, we had also gotten a slight hint at the school when Shane and Rick fought with the like on that Jenner had told him because the two cops they didn't have scratches on them. So but they were still zombies.
Mm.
So and Rick just kept being like, "Oh, they must have gotten scratched or something," and then Shane's like, "I don't see anything."
um.
Yeah.
I guess we just go over who dies, who lives.
Well, everyone we can.
Well, the
Just,
groups that get separated.
yeah,
And then,
everyone evacuates.
yeah.
Who dies? Patricia.
Patricia dies. Jimmy dies. I think that's it.
Shane dies.
Well, yeah, Shane. But we already said Shane died.
Yeah.
Um,
Dale dies. If we want to go over
already
recap,
died.
everybody who died.
it's just those two in the finale.
Yeah.
I think. Andrea,
Which gives it stakes, but also it's the characters that I almost forgot about.
Yeah.
Twice.
Andrea gets left behind after she goes to go save Carol. Carol leaves with Daryl. Lori, T-Dog, Beth are together. T-Dog tries to take them and go to the coast.
And Lori's like, I will jump out.
Yeah, I'll leave right now. Like,
I
no.
need my people. Especially her son.
Yeah. Rick and Carl are together. Did they grab Herschel?
I think so.
I think so too.
Yeah, Daryl's with Carol.
Yeah, they grabbed Herschel right at the end because he was
Glenn.
trying to stay. Glenn and
Maggie. Yeah.
I'm assuming. It's just them two though.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they all meet back up where they, on the highway.
Except for Andrea.
Mm-hmm. Except for Andrea.
Who has been just running through the forest, shooting, being so loud until she's saved by Michonne.
Yeah.
A mysterious cloaked figure. Yeah. Spoilers. Oh yeah, this is where also he tells everyone they're like, why were people turning who weren't bit? And he's like, we're all infected. That's what Jenner told me. And he said, and I didn't think it was necessary to tell you for safety. It doesn't change anything. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't really change anything, but it's like, but then why not tell people? Like, you're not going to make people more scared. They're just going to go like, oh, okay. Well, guess that's it. He also has like, also this goes on for way too long. It feels like the farm should have been the finale. We get a loom up to the prison or whatever, maybe like the little Michonne teaser, and then bam, done. Yeah. But you like see people driving back. You see the group reforming. Rick has a super long monologue speech where he's like, "It was a democracy, not anymore. It's a dictatorship, and if you don't like it, you can leave." And it's like, well, okay, that's not true though. They can't really leave. Like they'll die.
Yeah.
So, and it's not even true. Rick like double hates being a dictator and hates yeah. I think it's kind of stupid. Okay. And that is what happened in season 2. It was way longer.
Yeah.
And yet a lot more stuff happened.
Yeah.
But also not like, I think if we really tried we could probably summarize in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Cuz it's just going places. It's just if you care about the characters, it matters. But if you don't give a fuck, then like nothing happens for like the first half of the season. Okay. All right, things. Oh, you can say comic. We'll do comic differences. Things we like, things we didn't. Get out your notepad.
So to start this off, we need to address that Shane is dead. At this point, so. Everything that's basically Shane is replaced by Tyrese. Because
Tyrese isn't even here yet.
Yeah. Tyrese is introduced after the basically after they leave the camp. They run into him and his daughter Julie and her daughter his daughter's boyfriend Chris. But yeah, so they're kind of I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
Okay, so Tyrese is there.
Yes, Tyrese is there. Tyrese is there when Rick and Carl go hunting. And Otis shoots the deer but also shoots Carl.
Mm.
And then it's kind of the same from there, except for the fact that Herschel is upfront about the walkers being in the barn, like almost immediately.
Way better.
Because I think they ask about staying in there, and he's like straight up like, you don't want to stay in there. There's like my family's in there, like the dead are in there. You don't want to be in there. And that kind of he says, like he explains to Rick like what he believes and that he thinks that they'll be able to find a cure and be able to save his family and all that. Lori also realizes she's pregnant at this time. They don't go through like the whole pregnancy test or anything. She just knows because she hasn't like started her cycle and stuff.
Yeah, but okay, here's the thing. They're like, how would the men know?
Yeah.
Men don't understand that. It's only we only understand pregnancy tests.
Herschel does operate on Carl. When a zombie stumbles upon, they are going to go and try to put it in the barn, but then one of them comes out and starts attacking like Herschel. But Herschel has like 7 kids or something in the comics, and they start like getting in between him and start just dying. His firstborn son and his first daughter both die. Glenn holds Maggie back because they've already like kind of started their relationship. Beth doesn't exist in the comics, so she's not there. He does have 2 younger twin daughters, Susie and Rachel, I believe their names are. But they're not there. So Herschel and Maggie are fine. But all the other ones die. And basically the end of this is just Rick trying to clear out the barn and then realizing that it's kind of like not worth it. And he asks Herschel if he can stay in the house now that that he doesn't have as many kids taking up space, basically. And he says that to Herschel, and Herschel's like, you need to leave now.
Yeah.
Like, my family just died, and you're asking to stay in my home?
Yeah, that was
in their beds?
Heartless, cold shit right there.
No. And so they're basically kicked out, and Rick and everybody has to leave. And they do. But they leave, and they run into a neighborhood that's overrun. But it is wintertime and it's been snowing, so they don't really know what's going on. And they mention in the comics that in the wintertime, the walkers are slower, and even some of them are frozen, like completely. But they stay in that neighborhood for one night, but they stay upstairs to kind of being safe. But when they are going to go investigate the following day, Rick goes back to the RV and he sees that a sign says, all dead, do not enter. And he goes to try and save them, but they lose one member. And they have to leave, obviously, because it's completely overrun. They leave, and then for a couple weeks they're kind of just traveling. And then Dale and Andrea find the prison.
Wow, that was so much more succinct and quick.
Yeah, literally, like, really, it's really nothing.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have to stretch it out like that.
Yeah, well, they were, I mean, the
Sophia
comics,
doesn't go missing. Sophia's still alive. Like,
I was going to say, the comics might have been somewhat ongoing at the time, though.
Mm-hmm.
And so they were like, we have to really pad this out to make sure that we're not going to catch up. And then...
I don't know if that's true. I don't know how far the comics were.
I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt. I also think they might have gone, like, especially with how just nothing things feel for a lot of it, I think they might have been originally thinking like a 6 to 7 episode season.
Yeah.
And then they got 13, and then they're like, now we got to rewrite everything. We got to replot everything. And that's why characters go from being like cool to annoying to not, like, Shane and Lori are, as I said, like the worst examples of this, where they just are like characterization all over the place. Like, it's different for one episode, and then that's the one that actually matters.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, just keep this energy though.
I also feel like they definitely butcher Andrea.
Oh, for
They
sure.
and they just completely like she's not like that at all in the comics. She's very smart. She's very hyper vigilant. Like she's one of the first people to like think of what like people who would take advantage of them would do, and she's often the person that brings that up. Like she doesn't do that ever in the show.
Yeah, she's not hyper vigilant. I mean, we'll especially see next season when she gets just full tricked by the
Yeah.
governor repeatedly, over and over. She gets tricked and just like, I just think The Walking Dead has a really hard time writing women.
Yeah.
Especially right now. Like, I think maybe it gets better later on, but that's mostly just I think like because Michonne's like a really good actress, but I think that like they're just like, how do we write women?
Yeah.
They have this whole let's just jump into things we didn't like right now. Okay, they have this whole plot or this whole little like sub argument between Lori and Andrea, where Andrea's like, I'm one of the guys. I protect the camp. I keep it safe. Blah blah blah. And then
Yeah.
Lori's like, yeah, well, we do the chores. We keep everyone safe. And then they break up like the groups into like the women's group and the men's group, and you're like, this is unnecessary. Gender's kind of just a construct anyways, and
Yeah.
exists, for capitalist profit. So why would you bring that into the post-apocalypse? Who is this helping to do this exactly? Like your main survival trait here is shooting a gun, which is equally viable for men and women. Men should be doing the laundry too. Like
That's not brought up in the comics. I will say, as a different point, that the women do the laundry and stuff and whatever, and Andrea does do like a bunch of shooting the walkers. But in the prison, like once they start finding clothes and stuff, like the prison jumpsuits and like their athletic wear, Andrea starts sewing. Like she sews clothes for them, and she makes clothes for them, and she makes like maternity stuff for Lori.
hell yeah.
Like she's not she's not like I'm just one of the guys. Like she does whatever she feels is
Yeah,
helpful.
it's like use your talents. Like whatever you are good at, do that for the good of the group. Like if you're good at shooting, then yeah, you should be on the wall. If you're good at sewing, like I just hate how they like really try to stick to the gender binary, where it's like, oh, women do laundry and cooking, men do the hunting and the running. It's like what?
Like even right like where I'm at in the comics right now, kind of like midway through the prison, they've gathered some of their best shots, and two of them are Andrea and Maggie.
I know
Like I think it's Andrea, Maggie, Glenn, Herschel, and Herschel's son Billy, who is one of his only other kids surviving at this point.
There we go. Next time.
Billy and Maggie are the only ones.
The Grim Adventures.
Isn't it Billy and Mandy?
Yeah, but it's close enough.
But same thing.
Yeah, vibes. Okay. So I really didn't like inconsistent character writing. I felt like there was a lot of fluff, a lot of nothing, a lot of like I like Dale's character conceptually, but I feel like they wrote him very poorly in the sense that they just kept giving him like the worst arguments.
Yeah.
And they're just like, he's going to be the uncompromising, like moral high ground taker. And it's just like, I'm like, ugh, this is such, like, you have to be so careful about this character, because if you do it poorly, everyone just hates him.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's just, like, on me, but I did not enjoy it. Like, anytime Dale's on screen, I'm like, oh, great, another lecture, another morality phrasing, another whatever.
Yeah.
With no solutions given ever.
He doesn't do that at all either.
Yeah. He's way better.
Yeah. He's kind of just there.
Yeah.
I mean, he has, like, mechanic knowledge.
Yeah.
That's about it, though.
Anything
I was
you
trying
didn't
to
like?
think. There was something else I was going to say. Oh, about Rick doing his whole dictatorship. That's just not Rick at all.
Yeah.
I feel like they lost the plot there.
I think
He would never do that.
it also just doesn't make sense too, because he like it's not even enforced in the prison. He's not a dictator.
Yeah.
He is consulting with people all the time and letting other people make decisions. Like he doesn't even really want to be the leader, and like that's why being a dictator is so like stupid from his perspective, because he's like, no,
Mm.
I'm the leader because I'm like the most qualified to be a leader in this instance. Like I have both, the good and the bad in me to make a good leader.
Mm.
So yeah, it's just crazy.
Uh, I talked to you about this when I was reading it in the comic, because I thought it was interesting that, um,
Is it like the council and how there's no
yeah,
women?
yeah, some like stuff happens and Rick is knocked out, um, and they sort of form a council, and Dale is letting Rick know about it, and he says that it's himself, um, Rick, Tyrese, maybe Herschel, are on the council.
Is Herschel there in the comics?
He is,
He
yeah.
comes with them out of the farm.
He stays at the farm, but they go back and get him
Oh, okay.
once they find the prison because they
Oh, yeah, because
realize
it's
that
way
it'll be
better.
more safe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
That makes sense.
they go back, they get his family. Otis ends up bringing like horses and stuff so that they can
Otis
till the
sucks.
fields and just stuff like that. But when he says all of those people, Rick immediately says no women. Like, why are there no women on this council? Um, but he basically says that there aren't any because they decided that they didn't want to. And I guess that's fair.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I feel like, come on, Andrea would want to be on that.
facts. Well, she might just be like, I would rather just be like a representative with the women.
Yeah.
Like you'll come to me anyways if you want like opinions. Like
Mm-hmm.
I don't need like a vote to make it official. Because it is like a thing too, where it's like if you have too many people who are representing, then it's back to just being like, why even have a council?
Yeah.
And if people don't want power, that's fine.
Yeah.
I don't think you should like be like, no, we have to have women here, even if like all of what like your 5 women don't want to do it. They're like, actually, we're fine doing this. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's where sometimes it
I
can
don't
go
even
too
know
far.
if there's 5. There's Lori, Carol, Maggie.
Judith.
No. Well, yeah, technically now where I'm at.
Yeah. For right now.
Yeah. Who else is there?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Michonne.
Yeah. Is Patricia?
Patricia, yeah, she's there.
There we
She's
go.
still alive.
Did you want anything you didn't like that you want to go, and then we'll go to like specifically that I haven't really mentioned.
I don't know. Not really.
Yeah.
I just didn't like how boring this season was
Okay.
and stretched.
Yeah. I will say that the end feels like just oh my god, it's so long.
Yeah.
Like the last episode felt like it was a full like 30 minutes longer than it needed to be. I kept like checking. I was like, holy crap! Like, why is this so long? Okay. Things we liked. I liked a lot of the conversation writing. I liked some of the moral quandaries, like with Randall. Even if I don't think they did them great,
Yeah.
I appreciate that they used the zombie apocalypse to like bring up a conversation that's somewhat out of the norm.
Mm.
Like, oh, what do you? Yeah, like, is the difference in morality so great that it is okay to kill someone even if they're just a threat, even if they haven't actually done anything,
Yeah.
because they are like because
They could potentially do something.
yeah. Whereas like we would say like no, you put them in jail, like even though that has its whole like group of issues and things that are wrong and suck. But that's like kind of like the difference where it's like the only real thing they do have is like the death penalty. They don't have the resources to keep people alive, and they can't risk it. And so
Yeah.
it's interesting. But then also like I feel like the writers were conflicted because I do think like in that situation you have to make a decision. Like you're losing resources. But c'est la vie. I like the conversation in the bar. I went over it for like 35 minutes because I thought it was so cool and interesting because I just think it was really well acted.
Yeah. They did great.
Yeah. And I just
And
thought,
directed, I guess.
yeah, well, and the dialogue too, like, and that it led to actual like consequences, like, and showed kind of like it was a good Rick character beat.
Mhm.
Yeah. As you said, things I didn't like. It dragged,
Yeah.
especially at the end. I didn't like inconsistent character writing. Okay, now it's time. MVP. MVP for the arc.
It's hard.
I think it's hard, but I also think it's just Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Rick went off. He
Yeah.
got a lot more characterization. We understand who he is, what he is, a lot better now, I think.
Mm.
Like what he wants, why he wants it.
Andrew Lincoln got the voice down. He
Yeah.
did
He
it.
got the like the appreciative tone where he's like, "Look, I understand." Like
Yeah.
he realized it's like it's a whisper that's loud.
Yeah, love it.
Yeah. Least valuable player. T-Dog.
Yeah, he didn't even do anything.
I was like literally
I was
did
thinking.
nothing.
I mean, I was thinking Carol, but then I was like, she had dialogue.
She did.
Was there.
She had
She
her
talked to
whole
Daryl.
interaction with Daryl. Yeah, her daughter died, and then Daryl was really mean to her.
Yeah.
And then
Oh my God.
we
That
didn't even
scene
talk
was
about
so crazy.
Yeah,
He was so mean.
Well, he just he was just okay. So for context, he was so sad because he was really invested in finding Sophia because he started to like care about Carol because she don't got nobody and he don't got nobody.
Yeah.
And so he was taking it out on her. He was like, "You're so stupid, and I hate you, and you couldn't even save your own daughter." And then he
Yeah.
like does that, and she like flinches because she was a previously battered woman.
Yeah.
So
It's also like probably from Daryl's perspective, he's like a lost child who had nobody to look for him.
true. He talks about how he went into the woods for 9 days, and he came back home and started eating like, and no one cared
Yeah.
because his brother was in juvie and his dad was on a bender.
Yeah.
So yeah, he probably put a lot of himself in that.
Mhm.
And then all of it for and he got stabbed with an arrow
Yeah.
and
After falling.
got shot.
Yeah.
Well,
Crazy stuff.
this
Got attacked by 2 walkers while he's like not even doing good.
yeah. I was gonna say Lori for least valuable player.
Yeah.
I think there's an argument to be made that she caused the most damage to the group. But also and then she wrecked her car, which is so funny.
Maggie's car.
Yeah.
Maggie's car.
But she then killed 2 walkers, and so that's a lot more. Carl should be up there too, but he shot Shane. Well, look here. Carl got shot, and then he also got Dale killed.
Yeah.
But then he shot Shane, so I think we kind of balance it back out.
Yeah.
Okay, best villain. There wasn't really like a villain.
Besides like Shane.
It's Shane, yeah. But, wait, can we give Shane villain of the show twice? Yes.
Was he last season's villain?
Yeah, that's what we said.
That's funny. I guess he is just the villain.
Yeah.
No, we said Jenner, did we not?
I said Jenner.
Oh. I guess that's fair. I mean, he's the only one being the most menace.
Yeah. Well, he's the only one that's like actively like harming the group in that way.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of depends
Andrea,
on perspective.
also
Yeah,
up there.
but I don't think she's a
But
villain.
she's not a
for
villain.
that.
She's
Like,
just a misguided person.
she's a henchman.
A henchman.
Sorry, henchwoman. Okay. Favorite side character. Jim.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I know. Out of left field.
I don't know, Maggie.
I
She's
think,
not really great this first season.
no, but she's definitely
She's-
she's very empathetic.
Yeah.
I think I don't know. It is hard because I feel like a lot of people moved from side character to main character. Like I can't say Glenn because Glenn's definitely like a main character now. He's got episodes for him.
Yeah.
I think I'll go with Carl. I think he's a side character enough just because he's a kid but like I like his scenes. He's interesting.
Yeah.
And I think it provides like a unique perspective where he's like he doesn't see this as like real life anymore.
Yeah.
He's like I'm adapting.
Yeah.
And I think that provides like interesting discourse.
And he's like, childhood stuff kind of doesn't apply to me anymore.
yeah, like he's kind of like Glenn where he's like it's just a game. Like yeah, shoot Randall.
Yeah.
Like that'll keep us safe whatever. I don't care. I have no morality. Okay. And now we get into our overall ranking. So, do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I'm going to say a definitive B.
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I was thinking like C.
Okay, that could be your.
Not even going
Do you
on.
think it's worse than season 1? Because here's the thing. I think. Oh my god! I wish the
Do
camera
I
would
think-
just stay focused.
Do I think it's worse than season 1?
I think the thing is that I think that the highs are higher, but it's twice as long.
Yeah.
And and the lows are just as low, but they're longer lows.
Yeah.
Like it was kind of a
How about a C
challenge.
plus? What did I give season 1?
C plus.
But
That's I gave season 1 a B minus because I judge a lot based on highs, and I was gripped for some scenes, and then I was on my phone for others, and so
then maybe I do have to do a C minus or a C plus. I don't know. C plus probably.
same as season 1.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. I will say that I definitely think it should be included in the calculus that like this wasted 13 hours of our life versus the first one that was just 6.
Well, longer than 6 because the premiere is like an hour and it's like 90 minutes, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, okay, but then it's just
So
six
like
and a
7
half.
to 8 hours. Maybe.
Yeah, but this one felt so. But that one, I think the difference is like wasting time. I think that one was pretty
Yeah.
vibe setting. I think everything was like used. Whereas
Yeah.
this one's just a lot of like kind of the same conversation where Herschel's like, "Get off
I
my
feel like
farm,
they could have
Rick."
done 10 episodes
Oh, and it would have been.
and it would have been nice.
Oh yeah, it would have been.
Would have been good.
If you just take all of the good bits from this season, I think you could make an A.
Yeah.
But I think it's a solid B. Because it has those good bits, but they're surrounded in so much just like nothing, and the inconsistent character writing. Make sure to like and subscribe, babe. Right? Hit that bell. All right, that's it. We'll see you next week for season 3. Maybe I hope it's not too long. Hopefully, it's even better.